All right. Well, welcome everybody to another edition of Push to Talk, your premiere talk show on INN. If you are actually looking at the the statistics from last week. Yeah. Welcome everybody. We have an horrendous in the room. We have Caleb, Dawn.
Hello.
We have Dirk as well.
Yay!
Eric's back.
I am back.
We have a very smug Sothrasil.
As always.
And as well as me. Hey guys.
Hello.
So yeah. Thank you very much, by the way, to Soth for the Prime and obviously Carnaris for the tier 1 sub to start the show. That's fantastic. But yeah, guys. What has been happening? What have you
I think
guys been up
first
to?
off, Eric missed us last week.
Yes.
You were off playing golf, right, Eric?
Yeah, I want you to know it. Cart path only on a very hilly golf course, and old fat guy. It was about 4 days to recover. So I feel good. Good to be here. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
He
By the
limbered up
way-
and then lay in bed for 4 days.
Oh, it was terrible. It really was terrible. Because I only played golf like 4 times each year the last 2 years, and prior to that it was like 3 days a week. So yeah. But I will give feedback on the mini keg. Worked like a champ. Okay,
Cool deal.
worked like a champ.
Yeah, that mini keg looks pretty baller, actually, to be honest.
Yeah,
The fact that you
I'm
can actually
definitely very
carbonate stuff. Yeah.
but here's the thing. So it's sitting in a golf cart, jungling around all day long, right? Didn't get super foamy. Poured just like you're at the bar. It was beautiful.
Well, that's fantastic.
That is pretty good.
Well, at the moment, I am drinking a lovely mixture that I call Stevie Wonder. Eric knows of the Stevie Wonder, although you when you first tried it, you decided that you were going to basically do the insane version. So because you like mixed like Cointreau into it and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, but
Very cool.
yeah, that's not that powerful. But yeah, I mean, it was the fact that I think I drank 3. Like
Yeah, like back
one
to
and a
back,
half before
super
the
fast.
show, and that's when we're only an hour. So pre-show was about 1.5, and then 1.5 during the show. Yeah, I was. My wife was driving that evening.
I mean, I call it the Stevie Wonder because it gets you blind drunk. The reason why I kind of like that's one of the main reasons why I name it what it is. It's not exactly that like ridiculous. It's literally just like a vodka orange kind of like alco pop style thing, just mixed with some hard cider, or as we say in the UK and in Europe, regular cider.
Well, that's the thing. It was so smooth, so tasty. You just don't know what you're doing.
No,
The
you
problem is
just
that, like when he made it, he just put in cider.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. No. The So what is it? It's hard cider. How much? Because Carnero.
It's like a 50-50 mix. So if you like, ideally, what I was doing, like when I made this, when I kind of like, I'd first like experimented with this at sort of college. It was a case of I had a pint of cider and then I drank half of it, and I I had an alco pop to go. Like it was basically a vodka orange of some form. I think it was like a VK orange or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we were going to be going somewhere, and I was just like, I can't be asked with like holding both of these. So I just poured one into the other, and I was like, oh, it actually tastes really nice. And then it got me really fucking drunk. That one thing actually had quite a serious effect. And so I tried it a few other times, and it had the same effect. So it's quite potent. Let's put it that way.
It is. How much vodka did you put in? I forget.
Not
It's been,
much.
like years.
Not much. Like
a shot.
I mean, you can put a shot into it, yeah. Like,
I mean, it's going to be what? Like, if you're hand pouring, it's
Not that
probably
much.
going to turn out like 40-50 mil at least.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, and I'd probably put half a shot of Cointreau just because it's an orange liqueur and it's sitting in the bar. Like we have the biggest bar stocked with all this bar stuff. Occasionally, I'll have a nice single malt scotch or something, or a beer. But we have all this alcohol, and we like don't drink it. We're like the worst people. I mean, we have a lot of alcohol sitting in the bar. We can make anything, but we don't drink anything.
You gotta drink it, right? Everyone knows alcohol goes bad really fast.
I know.
Generally not Scotch.
Yeah, as long as you seal it up.
Oh.
Whiskey, you're okay. Vodka, all those really hard ones. Why is Brisk excited to see McLeod?
Why not? Are you not excited to see McLeod?
Not really on a regular basis. No.
I
Do you
don't
see
generally
him on a
tend to
regular
go on
basis?
camera. That's why.
Yeah.
And it is a Congo. It is a Congo drum.
Do you have notes in that book?
I don't.
Have
Well,
you-
no. I've definitely put notes as to sort of like interesting sections for sure.
Have you not heard the plan for today, Soth or Soul? Every time the conversation dies, we're going to be subjected to Darkshine's fan fiction.
Yeah. So
If this is your
okay.
incentive to just talk,
Well, So I would just like now to say something now that Brisk is watching.
oh god,
Brisk is here. Yeah.
Right, Brisk. We've been asked to talk to you about something, and we're not going to. You're welcome.
All I want to say on this particular subject is if Zenoria comes at you with a wanting to talk to you about an egg of some form,
I
just
wasn't even
run.
going to talk about it that much.
Just run. Disconnect from anything and everything that you can. Like, get away from people, from
Throw
any
away
like
your
electronic
phone.
devices. Yeah,
just a lake house.
Yeah. Just get off grid as fast as you can. It is what I would recommend. But yeah.
What are we outside of our 20 minutes yet? No, we're still
No.
inside.
No.
Not
This
even
is
close.
segment number 1. General stuff going on with everybody.
As we normally do, we have the Dawn rule in place because Dawn is here with us, which means that for the first 20 minutes of the show, we cannot talk about Eve-related stuff. This is to make sure that everyone is feeling like nice and loose and enjoying themselves before we get into the rants that potentially sometimes occur.
Potentially, sometimes.
I mean,
I don't know what
As
you're talking
always.
about. We never rant about EVE Online.
At no time.
didn't you just publish an article that was just around us, and we can't
No.
talk about that
It was
until we
just
get
an
into the
entire
show,
rant.
But
No, it wasn't a rant at all.
I mean, I guess that's like tangentially sort of related to Eve.
But yeah, so I mean, the weather's pretty good around here. Have you guys been enjoying any fun kind of foods or anything? I did some burgers myself the other day. I know that we talked
you
about
enjoyed-
hamburgers a lot the other
You
week.
enjoyed what you're saying is you enjoyed some sandwiches.
Yes, I did have some sandwiches filled with beef and lettuce and tomato and cheese and cucumber and many other things. Yes,
For tacos.
I say many other things. Burger
some,
patty tacos.
What?
I made some mini-
What is this?
What? It's hardly a difficult thing. I mean, you make tacos with ground beef anyway, so.
I mean, I generally tend to use chicken or beef strips, but alright, whatever. I guess they're carnitas, more like. But like, I think if anybody would be able to tell us definitively what kind of sort of Mexican-inspired kind of cuisine we are actually sort of we were enjoying, it would probably be Carneros. I mean, I would think so
Always
anyway.
associated Carneros with wine, but you know,
Well, yeah, I mean,
he
he
has
knows his
some
wine
great
as
wine
well.
recommendations.
He knows his wine for sure.
But stop, is your ping just fucked, or are we just talking over you?
No, you just keep talking over me.
What have you been-
Yay! Opposite
I
side.
made some mini cheesecakes. topped with blackcurrant preserve.
Ooh, mini cheesecake.
Yeah,
They looked
those
a
are
lot
really
like
nice.
they looked a lot like kind of like over risen cupcakes to me, but
Well, I made
I'd
them
still eat
in a cupcake
They're
pan.
just like slamming sauce cheesecakes.
Giggity.
Is that a euphemism?
Should
never
be.
not slam sausage cheesecakes.
I mean, of the things that I've been reading in here, there's a lot of euphemisms.
I mean, they did rise a lot more than I expected, so next time I'm not going to fill them up as much.
Yes.
Hold on, were you inside the 20 minutes?
Oh no, we are totally inside the 20 minutes.
Please stop me, because I am engrossed in a particular conversation that you all have probably read, and I have not. And it's funny.
We're still like 8 minutes out from being outside the dawn rule.
Who slowed time? Sothrasil, was that you?
Yes, it was definitely Sothrasil.
He slowed time up. Damn it.
There was a loud crash behind Jay, followed by a crack and a scream. Cryo and Jay rushed into the lounge to see Sniper Eagle somewhat sprawled on the floor.
Hold it.
A box
Isn't
of
that equalated?
All right.
To some degree, I guess.
Since you need me, I made this week
right.
my own fajitas, and apparently I put way too much chipotle spice in it.
So,
Nice.
Did you have fun with the spice?
I ate it all, but whew.
excellent.
Oh, and you've been requested to play the bongos, Mac, because Greg is too much of a pussy to come on the show himself.
No.
Whoa, called out.
That is
He does that
not
all the
going to
time.
happen.
That got really aggressive really
He
quick.
sends me
there.
messages all the time, like, do this, do that. I'm like, you come on here and talk about it. Anyone's welcome on. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and be your messenger
Getting all
monkey.
angry and vicious and
It's because my mom was supposed to come over tomorrow. So I was like, oh, I'll clean up this afternoon. And she's like, we're going to come over in like an hour. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm hurriedly running around my house cleaning things up.
this is a safe space.
No.
People don't get vicious and violent and angry here unless they're soft.
Whoa. I think that's a gross misrepresentation of what sometimes happens on this channel.
No, it absolutely is. It absolutely is not, Dirk. Sometimes we get vicious, sometimes we get angry, but we don't get all three unless we're soft.
Well, Soft doesn't get angry. We covered this last week. He's angry all the time.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
why
my
you
point.
wakes
only
up.
get all three when you're soft.
Oh, Greg finally showed up. You ask him your questions, not me.
Well, hello, first of all. I hope
Hey,
everyone
Greg.
is enjoying their week and
Good
weekend.
afternoon, Greg.
Banger of a show so far, guys. Banger. McLeod, you got bongos on your fucking screen. You gotta play them, buddy.
Oh,
Come on, man.
maybe at the end of the show if everybody's good. How about that?
Maybe if the audience wants it, we should do like a straw poll for the audience.
Oh,
do you want to see
you know-
McLeod play the bongos?
We should. I'm going to propose we should do
Look, if we get a hype train
Survey
going,
every week.
I might
We
play.
should do a
If
survey every week.
we get a hype train running, then I might play the bongos. How about that?
Oh, now there's a challenge, chat.
Here's a challenge.
Now, is
There
it
you go.
RMT if you play bongos for ISK?
No, I think that's just. There's many different talents that you can do, that you can get reimbursed ISK for, not just playing the bongos. So I don't think.
But you should probably be playing the bongos in an Eve-related context, though.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
Beat poetry.
So
You're gonna have to explain that to me. This is true.
Well, 'cause CCP doesn't like it if Eve-related stuff is being paid in real money. So
Yeah,
If
you can do it one way,
Sam,
but not the other way. Yeah, I am actually a
What about
percussionist of some form. I wouldn't exactly call myself a percussionist. I'm more a drummer because percussion is multi. It is a much larger
is a
amount.
musician.
Yeah,
So what
exactly,
you're
and
saying
I'm
is
not. I can't read. I can't read sheet music. Let's put it that way. So
he's an amateur drummer.
Amateur.
Yes.
You feel music, man. You don't necessarily have to be a professional. You just
I know.
let it flow through you, right?
I prefer that. Yes. Very much so.
I can't wait for post show. Not that I want to get away from our illustrious viewers.
We should probably mention that like the show is probably going to be about half hour shorter than it normally would be, but that's because Eurovision Song Contest is tonight, and we need to get ourselves prepped for that as well. So
because Mac's playing the bongos on Eurovision.
All right. For the non-Euros, what the fuck is Eurovision Song Contest?
Right.
Okay, so imagine American Idol, except it's basically national teams from all over Europe, which somehow includes a whole lot of places that are not Europe, as long as they're not the US.
I was going to say also including Australia
and the United Kingdom.
And the United Kingdom.
So why can't we just call it Euro?
I mean, he's technically right.
It's the continent of Europe plus Australia.
Oh, do you include Finland and Switzerland and all that stuff? And Poland?
Yes, it's the continent of Europe.
Latvia, Estonia, Belarus.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not
these
Belarus.
Are original songs and not covers, so you gotta like write a song.
These are like bands and artists from these nations who have either written or write with songwriters songs that they then perform that are almost always cringeworthy as fuck and absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah,
and they take this shit about as seriously as they take the World Cup.
Yes, that's
obviously
a thing. But yeah, no, we have party, like some people across Europe have parties about the Eurovision Song Contest. Like, they bring food from different quote unquote cultures and have fun with it, and they all watch the show. And what we do as people on the internet who are completely sane and realistic when it comes to our expectations when it comes to the Eurovision Song Contest is we crowd into a Discord room, watch it all together, and drink when somebody says, Jesus fucking Christ, that's cringy, drink.
Exactly.
Shout out, by the way, to Norway for being the most drinks in a 30-second segment from last year. Well, that's a 30-second segment. I don't think it was a 30-second segment.
Kind of means that
it was probably like
any drinking party that
segment.
you do about Eurovision is kind of like a suicide pact, right?
But
all right, I got one last thing on
it. Is effectively a suicide pact, but Norway last year, in like the space of 2 minutes, managed 17 drink calls.
I do think there is one important question that needs to be answered, though, Dirk.
Oh, dear.
Is there some place that Americans can watch this?
On the internet somewhere.
Yes, in the channel that we're going to be in, because we're going to be streaming it to the channel in Discord.
I'm so glad my ancestors came to the New World.
I know. I mean, when I think of Eurovision, guys, I think of like Mike Myers and like Sprockets. That's what the name says to me. But
no, it's nothing that good.
It is officially called the Eurovision Song Contest rather than just Eurovision.
Oh, okay, Song Contest. That's what I'm missing, because you guys always call it Eurovision. I'm like,
yeah, it's kind of like a colloquial.
Oh, gotcha.
It's basically an Olympiad of songs in the most cringe and camp way that you can imagine.
Exactly.
It's hilarious, and the only way you can do it is with alcohol. So we do it with alcohol.
A few Stevie Wonders. By the way,
nationalism. The filth.
Before we go off of that, the Stevie Wonder came up for everybody who doesn't know when we were doing Whiskey Gaming as a show, and we're all there. And we're trying to come up with a drink of the week, right? And so McLeod goes, my drink is going to be a Stevie Wonder. So all the rest of us are looking up how to make a Stevie Wonder to make sure we have the components. And yeah, he didn't tell us it was like his own creation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in all honesty, I just made a name for it just for the sake of it. I never actually looked up to see whether the name had been taken by anybody else.
Well, there is a key question though there in terms of it being called a Stevie Wonder. McLeod, why is it called a Stevie Wonder?
Because it gets you blind drunk. Simple.
There you have it.
Yeah,
guys.
There you go. It is a wonderful drink, so everybody should drink it.
Enjoy the heavy breathing from Arendis.
Are you really gonna say enjoy the drink without telling them how to make it?
He did earlier.
I did earlier. If you missed it, I did earlier. If you
the Stevie Wonder. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you paying that much attention?
I mean,
I thought he was talking about his yellow and blue.
No.
Or something.
No. That's a different one entirely. That is just basically like a vodka Red Bull, just fancied up to make it look like the Ukrainian flag.
I think Eric really wants to talk about Eve.
We are past the 20-minute mark. We are approaching 25 minutes. So, yeah, we can get into our sections on Eve.
First and foremost, I have to, by the fact that I am, a member of the initiative, I have to showcase that Dark Shines actually did release his collective writings of Dark Shines, what is it? The erotic tales of EVE Online. You can actually get it. You could this is a real thing that you can actually purchase.
Okay, so it's not the erotic tales.
It is the erotic tales. I think it is the erotic tales. It is
the official title on Amazon, where you can purchase the book in hard copy, is The Collected Writings of Dark Shines, Modern Day Shakespeare.
Yes.
Can we get a link?
Hold on.
I will drop a link.
We can definitely drop a link. Yeah, for sure. We'll even showcase. Hang on.
There's your Amazon link.
Wait a second, Mac. Wait a second.
European one? Is that a European link or?
No, that's an Amazon.com link.
Excellent.
Could you hold your copy up again, McLeod, please?
Dude, I'm buying this right now. I'm buying it right now.
for
you have tabs?
Yes, I have tabs on it. Yes, I do.
Jesus Christ, man!
Dude,
is that where you finish?
No. That's literally just so I can get 2 bits. In the middle of random moments of not much talking, and then interject with something from the book.
It's just dead air filler for the day.
Yeah.
Can I ask something dumb? So I'm here on Amazon, and I'm purchasing the collective writings of Dark Shines, a modern day Shakespeare, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says I have 2 choices. So I need you guys to help me pick. I can either get it Monday, May 16th with free Prime delivery, or I can get it Thursday, May 19th with free Amazon Day delivery. Which should I pick?
Why would you ever go with the later delivery date?
Considering you run an Amazon delivery company, surely
have it delivered to the depot.
Just get it delivered to the depot. I've got it now.
I can't, but I let my buddy use his company to deliver to me at home. So it's $3.83 here, US, and my order has been placed. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Dark Shines. I look forward to reading. It's going to be excellent.
That's a good deal. I ordered one.
It is a fantastic book.
We will have a special ad hoc segment next week after I read through the book, and we'll do a review. Maybe we can even have Dark Shines come on. Hold it, wait! Don't the regular tie it in? We're the Imperium News Network. Why don't we have Dark Shines come on and pump his book? We should have a whole segment, just like they do in all the things.
We should, and you know what else we should do?
What?
We should have Dark Shines talk to our resident other Eve erotica writer about all of this.
Oh, a collab.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I will say though,
Sounds good.
can't be
Andrew, we'll
next
see what we
week.
do.
A Dawn
no.
Shine collaboration.
We were gonna like leave this towards the end to announce what we were doing next week, but it can't be next week.
Okay, we can wait still. It's okay. Just a little teaser
Because
out there
next
before the
week,
commercial.
yeah,
Next
we've
week.
got plans for next week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For things.
We have plans for
And
things.
stuff.
I know this is
And
unprecedented for Push to Talk. To be
We've
completely
planned
honest.
stuff before.
Oh no, maybe we have. Yeah,
When did we get plans?
it's a rare thing. It is a rare thing.
Like a couple times a year.
I have no idea what the plans are, so this is.
I'm scared.
We put Socrasil in charge of the plans. You should be scared.
I am.
You know, I want to note in your layout, McLeod. We can't have more than 8 co-hosts because that's all the room you will allocated. So
I'm more scared now that I know Soft was in charge of the
Yeah,
plans.
it would be ridiculous.
we'll see what we can do. I didn't know he wrote a book. I didn't know he released it. It's going to be very exciting.
I mean, it is literally just everything that is on Reddit. So
It doesn't matter.
But I know that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter to me because, like, I like the fact that I have it physically in my hand. It's great.
Okay,
I don't have to be like, oh, where is the next bit? I'm gonna have to fucking go trawl through Reddit see if I can find it. Like, no, it's here
In his hand.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, guys, just spend some time right now while you're waiting for your book to arrive and just read the reviews. They're awesome.
Yeah, the reviews are awesome as well.
My favorite
Brisk has put a review in there as well.
He has. It was good, but not as good as the man from Annette, who
Oh,
says 5 stars. 5 stars. Say goodbye to your virginity. Before I read this book, I was a virgin. Now I'm not. Thank you, Dark Shines. There you go. That's the best review. May 10th, 2022.
There's one there's one right at the bottom,
Annette.
which is a 5-star review from Arthur, claiming it to be very erotic, and in the additional comments he put did nut.
It's a hell of a testimonial.
The great thing about that is they included a picture of the product, right?
Yeah.
The nut or the book?
The book.
Thank God.
Reading the book with a beverage by the computer screen, the keyboard and everything. It's it's excellent.
I think if you tried to do a upload an image of something else, then it probably wouldn't have flied for Amazon, considering this isn't a joke, it's actually on Amazon's website.
Yeah, we're not kidding. And we have actually purchased it. And this is going to be stored after I read it on my bookshelf beside my autographed Frank Herbert Dune books. It's that important. It's that critical of a work.
In pride of place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Goonie DuPont. Yeah, Goonie DuPont in Twitch chat is asking whether or not he missed some Eve talk.
Okay, he wins the stream chat comment of the day. We're just not even gonna wait to listen to the rest of the day. He just Goonie wins.
You're an automatic winner, mate. There you go.
Yeah.
You turned up to Push to Talk after half an hour and you expected to have missed Eve talk? Really?
By the way, we were honoring you, Goonie, with that comment. We were not making fun of you at all. It's like, did I miss some Eve talk? No.
Maybe a little bit of fun, but it's all in good. It's all in good fun.
By the way, Tedrick, it's only one. It's only one book.
This whole topic has been about Eve.
I mean, to be honest, that is actually kind of true.
Yeah, that is Eve, an Eve work of art, right?
Eve fan fiction, definitely Eve related.
I did enjoy this particular section, right?
I'm sure you did.
Within each cave stood a platform, and on those platforms stood Brisk Rubal, Merkel Chen, and Innominate, clad only in leather boots, leather suspenders, and leather caps.
That's
Let me be clear. Leather boots. Leather what?
Leather boots. Oh shit! Hang on. Leather boots, leather suspenders, and leather caps.
Hats. Okay, so we got suspenders holding nothing up.
No, the suspenders hold the boots up.
Cat. Oh, they're holding the boots up.
They're really lengthy suspenders. Really lengthy boots. I'm not sure which one.
Hey, look, thigh-high boots exist.
This is
at
true.
That point, the boots are tall and the suspenders are only slightly too long.
Oh, I think my eyes are watering at this point.
Right.
There's a few bits of...
Do we
Sorry?
want to get into the other fan fiction that got released this week?
Oh, yeah, the patch notes, right?
The patch notes, yeah.
I thought you were talking about the MER.
Oh, yeah, no, that is
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
fan fiction.
That also got released.
So since, I was busy FanFest weekend, I mean, did they talk about the ability to actually create a real MER? Or no, did they address that?
Nope.
Okay.
Not on stream. We don't know what happened in the data kind of roundtable that would normally talk about the MER. We don't know what happened in there. Nobody recorded it as far as we're aware. But they didn't talk about the MER or the changes to the MER that they've kind of been doing and want to do on stream at all. Like, no commentary about, like, yeah.
That's a good question. Were those roundtables recorded? Like, were you allowed
I
to
did.
record that?
Player.
I did see a roundtable of the faction warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But CCP did not record them.
No.
Okay. That's a shame. I mean, we call it the super spreader event of Iceland, right? Because everybody seems to have
plague
COVID,
party.
right? I mean, we put 50, 60, 70,000 people in a stadium to watch a sporting event, and it's not a super spreader event over there. 20 people get together for FanFest, and all of a sudden it's a super spreader. I mean, what the heck's going on?
You say 20 people.
How were the numbers? At FanFest? Were they big?
It was
Were they
like
normal?
it's been publicized as like 1,000 people all told, something like that.
Is that big for FanFest or not?
No, I mean it's a little bit smaller, but
I mean, I think
it's the biggest fan fest in the last 4 years.
This is
Biggest
true.
FanFest last 4 years.
I think the fact that you could
Arendis,
buy.
You're a bit quiet.
Sorry, what?
Arendis said something, but he was a bit quiet.
Oh, sorry. I said something like 2/3 of test were there.
That's like
the published numbers were 19.
Actually, that is about half to 2/3 of their current sort of form up numbers. So yeah, that makes sense. I would say that Brisk probably did the greatest, had the greatest kind of like clipped moment from FanFest.
Frank on stage?
No, it wasn't Frank on stage. It was a moment that encapsulated FanFest quite
one.
magically. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
This is so incredibly vague that even I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can find it real quick.
Where he asks the CCP guy, and then the CCP guy stumbles over his own tongue.
It was unfortunate for sure. It was unfortunate for sure when it regarding that particular CCP. But shit happens, man.
You got to ask the tough questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Should that have been a tough question?
Should we get into these numbers? Because
well, that depends. Are we done talking about the plague party yet?
I was handed a spreadsheet, so I have some.
I just want to really
Is it an Excel spreadsheet?
No.
Well, then it's not official Eve brand.
I just want to really I just want to quickly showcase this this particular clip. So if you guys out there can see, then
okay. Yeah, showcase this.
Oh, this was so bad. I feel so horrible for this guy. I really do.
Oh, right, no, that doesn't quite work.
There's no sound on it. I don't think I understand.
McLeod has broken it.
I've broken it slightly. Sorry, what now?
Closed captioning?
Oh, no, probably not. It's a YouTube clip, man.
Yeah, so
I think it has
YouTube
closed,
has closed
but-
captioning.
Should we be drinking the Marley
no.
Matlin? When...
There's no closed captioning on
Oh, wow.
YouTube, maybe, but Twitch, no.
Okay.
But like, if you guys want to see it
Yeah, throw the
yourselves,
link.
then
Yeah, give us a
It
timestamp
is-
link.
it is right
It's
there.
not long enough to need a timestamp.
No.
Lol. Oh, it's an actual clip. Okay.
Yeah. If you guys want to check it out, that's there. It's great. Anyway, let's roll on.
Is great.
We kind
How
of
many
ran.
people
We,
did get
we're rolling
the?
on.
we kind
How
of
many
ran
people
over
did
Salt.
get the
Sorry about that.
plague?
The numbers are, in terms of the plague, the numbers are a little bit uncertain, but I have seen reports personally that the entirety of the community team got whacked
We're
with
out
the plague.
sick, yeah.
And that, doesn't necessarily include the fact that people like the Space Pope got it. The Space Pope, being a very popular guy, very personable guy who likes to talk to people and have those kind of interactions, also got it. Rix Javix, Greygal, who is a huge community organizer.
A number of
Tony
CSM
got it.
members.
Yeah, a couple of the CSM. Brisk didn't get it, but I also understand from somewhere that Brisk also had it like a month ago, so possibly still had some antibody resistance there. It was a lot of people have kind of after the fact started testing positive for the pandemic plague. But also, we have to talk about this being an event where we had, where we saw, or they saw at least, 1,000+ people from all over the world crammed into what was not the biggest space at Lagardol Shoal.
Yeah, Garden Variety Con Crud's going to be there too.
Yeah, Conflu is a thing, and it's going to have been,
nasty.
4 years of not being in the same place as people, and then and staying at home mostly, and then you walk into a place like that for 3 days or two days plus a day of drinking on the Sunday or whatever. It's not fun. It's just a function of people coming from all over.
I think the number that Coneros is giving us 50 is a little bit low. I'm pretty sure it was a lot higher.
I mean, that's just tracked numbers from what I'm reading now. So,
because statistically, everyone that I know that went is like at least 50%.
how many of those 1,000 people do you know, Caleb?
Well, that's what I meant, right?
All of them.
My small statistic sample is almost 50% had positive tests. Not necessarily that they were sick, but they were definitely testing positive. And some of those people allegedly also got on a plane.
Yeah, there were people who didn't test positive until they'd been on planes and got home. There were people who tested positive and actually were still allowed on planes because of certain countries' restrictions. This is all a thing, and I suppose it would be irresponsible of us to talk about this without also saying, look, guys, if you're in the audience watching this and you're talking about going to, we've got a Goon Berlin meet coming up in the next couple months. I know there's Eve Vegas coming up kind of in October time, and there's going to be all sorts of other player meets as the world starts to open up again, and as people are wanting to meet the guys that we've not seen in years, right? We've had all of these Discord discussions and what have you and been interacting, but we've not actually met and had a drink together and had, that in-person interaction. Just be careful when you're going there. Make sure that you're taking some tests, make sure that you're, being cautious a little bit. All of the whole general precautions. If you feel like you need to wear a mask, make sure that you're washing your hands regularly or using hand sanitizer. Just generally, be
sensible.
careful, be safe, be sensible, and enjoy your meets at the same time. Just yeah, be responsible about it and have a ton of fun while you're there.
Point out my strat.
And consider one of those travel insurances, just in case.
Yes, I recently re-upped my travel insurance, and I had a COVID-19 additional that I could pay for that I whacked right on there because, yeah, you might need it without ever like doing anything wrong. Just be careful.
There's at least a few people that got set back quite a lot of dollars with the whole plague party at Iceland. Had to pay for extra stay and all that shenanigans, and that is expensive as fuck.
In Iceland, yeah.
I think the Pope was set back a few $1,000s actually.
Somewhere between 2 and 3 is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
But you needed 4 or 5 days extra.
At least. Yeah. So anyway, now that we've properly discussed and responsibly talked about the plague and the plague party, Satoshi, would you like to talk us through the patch notes before you get to your spreadsheet? What's happened this week?
Right. The patch notes are pretty simple. They did a few. They fixed a few bugs here and there, a bit of weird behavior, and on top of that, they reduced the amounts of certain items you need to build capitals, supers, titans, faction, and pirate ships. On top of that, we also have changes to reinforcement timers on citadels. And they got rid of the damage cap on in certain stages. Shield timers, yes.
Interestingly enough, there is a it's on medium structures.
Some of it is on medium structures, some of it is on all structures. So the removal of the damage cap for shields is across every structure.
Nope.
Nope.
Every upwell structure.
Every upwell structure, sorry.
The flex structures are not affected.
What? They're upwell structures.
Nope.
They don't have upwell in their name, they have flex in their name.
So jump bridges, beacons, jammers, no.
Excuse me while my brain takes a minute to catch up to that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, I mean, to be fair, the flex structures are not an issue to attack in the first place regardless. But, okay,
what the fuck?
That's a thing, I guess.
Yes, the far more easily replaced cheapest ones are harder to kill.
Well, harder to reinforce. But in terms of the whole reinforcement phase removal, that's only for medium upwell structures. So your Astrahus, your Otaru, and your Athanor. And yeah, basically what it does is it combines the armor and the hull timer into one. You start shooting the armor and you go all the way through and kill it right there. Then one reinforcement. And
is this a good change?
That depends.
That depends on if you're shooting at structures or own them.
It also kind of depends on what region you live in. So in Nullsec, where you would generally see a lot of structures and big fleets to shoot them, this is definitely a good change because it kind of helps with the structure spam. But in something like Lowsec, that's generally a bit dead, and maybe also wormholes.
Yeah, in the places,
a bit harsh.
This most benefits the places where you don't really have a question of can we get enough people to shoot at it. So yeah, that was great. Really needed that. Gosh, I'm so glad that my 250-man fleet can actually take on an Astrahos now. It was a problem before.
How many bombers does it take you to reinforce a an Astra Hoose now, Arendis.
I mean, one, it can take as long, depending if you're willing to take the time.
Take the time the same way that the Merlin pilot did over the XL ship maintenance.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude.
I thought there was going to be follow up to that sigh.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
You had a very pregnant sigh.
I think
like
I
9
think
months.
I think it speaks for itself. Thanks.
So apparently, you can just bomb the shields off of a structure.
Yeah.
That's what Cash was saying, right?
Yeah, not even just shooting it, just pew!
Enough bombs at the appropriate timing. Why not?
Yeah.
So Asher was way ahead of the curve with his bomber doctrine to bomb structures. He just
don't
as
say
he always
that.
is.
Don't say that. Don't say that. He doesn't need any more
Yes,
ego.
he does. He is like 8D chessing everybody. He can see into the future of what horrible changes they're going to make and be like, yes, that is what we're going to prepare for. YTech 2 or whatever? Not YTech 2. FTech 9, YZ9 or whatever. Those prepared us for this future.
All those extra modules in your
Really?
cargo.
Bombs is the first thing that comes to your mind.
Apparently it does it really fucking quickly. It's almost instant.
Right.
Okay.
Almost fucking instant. For an Astra Hoose. I mean, it's not like we cooked something up. It's not like we cooked something up that could reinforce a keepster in like under 2 minutes.
Hold up. Under 2 minutes?
Well, that's with, moving the stuff in and out.
I mean, he's not wrong when he says under 2 minutes.
It doesn't make any sense to just add numbers. It really doesn't help.
I know you're making a particular point on this, Arendis, but like he's not wrong when he says under 2 minutes.
I suppose if you're including the time to get into system and get into firing position, sure.
Do you feel like he's underselling your accomplishments?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Give too much
All right,
away.
All right then. I shall say no more.
Giant cock teases.
Wow, Don.
I mean, listen to them. They're like, here's the dick. Oh, wait, no, you can't have it. Like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Hey, Dawn.
I mean, we're not saying you can't have it.
No, soft. Back off. Dawn. Beg for it.
Ew. Don't get weird.
Okay.
This is a family-friendly show, thank you.
No, it's not. It's actually not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shields, the whole to get back on topic, the shields DPS cap, that's gone. That's interesting. The hull reinforcement changes. Is this actually going to see more structures get destroyed? Do people think? Do we want to go around the room and kind of yes or no? Is this going to are the hull changes combined into armor for medium structures going to see more medium structures be destroyed? Horrendous, yes or no?
Yes.
Caleb.
Oh, I'm still stuck on the fact that only the ones with the name Obwell in it got the change. So I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck that's about.
Okay, fair enough. I'm still processing that one too. Still, but here we go. Dawn, yes or no?
Oh, well, then more stuff's gonna die. Initially,
more medium structures. Okay. Eric, have you got an answer on this? I know you're muted, but have you been listening?
Oh, I would.
I am listening.
Oh.
I did give my kids a couple instructions, so sorry.
Okay,
no input. No input. We're good.
Okay. Greg, more medium structures dying under this.
Of course they are.
Okay. Sus?
Compared to the short term, like the past 2 to 3 months, yes. Compared to like last 2 years, no.
Okay.
Okay, but let's first off, let's acknowledge that Fluffy Hamster is absolutely right. People need to play the game to blow things up. So
Yes.
when we're saying that more things will blow up, it's more things will blow up than would have without this.
Yes,
Hey,
that is very
yes,
true.
of course.
But
it may not go up in absolute numbers if enough people just kind of get disgusted and walk away.
Before we dig into that whole detail, I want to go to the last person on the list. McLeod, yes or no, more things will be destroyed?
I think, very much in the manner that Fluffy has kind of said, like, yeah, I think more will definitely die compared to if they didn't happen. But we're not going to hit any records. We're not going to create new records in any way, shape, or form. And I think there's probably going to be people who are going to think twice about dropping medium structures rather than just doing it.
See, I don't think that the amount of timers was the issue why people didn't shoot structures. I think the issue has been for a long time that there's nothing really to gain from shooting structures, right?
CCP gave you loot.
What loot?
Cores. Like, you get some loot. Like, fucking, that's not an incentive. Do you even understand how this game works?
Shoot an Astrohoos, get 300 million. Okay. Shoot a pause in 2016, get an R64 moon. These two things are not comparable.
Dirk, shoot a pause in 2016. Get an assload of ships that drop out of the SMA.
Yeah.
Also true. But I was actually going to adjust my statement down to shoot a pause in 2016 and get an R4 moon. You still get more than CCP are offering for the Astronews shoot today.
Oh god.
So, yeah, but at the same time, let's not in any way suggest that bringing back passive moon mining would help anybody.
It would help a lot of people.
I think if
the number of people who keep saying that actually, yes, they lost a hell of a lot of alliance income and could not support their groups after the removal of passive moon mining would actually suggest that, yes, reintroducing passive moons would help a lot of people.
No, it wouldn't, because it would remove any mining available in this fucking game. So you would destroy something else.
I'm not saying that it doesn't have drawbacks. What I'm saying is that the reintroduction of some level of passive moon mining would help a lot of people who have been clamoring for it.
You can take this and you can take this and kind of like, find a better halfway house than what passive moon mining was like previously. We're not talking about like bringing back passive moon mining at the kind of like power level that it was previously. Like, you take it back and you make it kind of like, a lot more, interdictable. You make it a lot more like capable of being fucked with by regular players in more ways and more engaging ways as well than just like, throwing a fucking what was it?
Fleet at structure and win.
Yeah.
We should also remind people that the days of passive moon mining, some people might have forgotten that it was also duped moon mining. So there is that little.
Yeah, we don't talk about Ferrogel.
Well, the thing that gets me is that when we talk about passive moon mining, we're talking about everything up to 2017, right? It's not even in the grand scheme of EVE Online. It's not even that long ago when you consider that CCP Rotati et al. Have been destroying the game since late 2018, early 2019, right? It's just that the timelines involved.
It's just that I think you're going at the wrong angle from this. We don't necessarily need passive moon mining or passive income. What we do need, again, is some top-down income, because top-down income is
Didn't they add some
proven.
tax bullshit or something in this FanFest?
I mean, real.
No, they announced the intent, but they didn't release anything at FanFest.
Yeah, they didn't actually release it.
They didn't even release Siege Green, which is the patch this week.
I find it funny actually how like they could have done a patch release on Fanfest, and that would have been kind of that'd have been interesting because then there would have been like actual content has been delivered on Fanfest.
Right. And go back to something that Arendis said in this whole period when the Fanfest drama was at its highest.
Oh, that sounds like a bad idea.
He basically said that if ever there was a time for CCP to bring out walking in stations, it would be now. And I'm going to just double down on that and say that's the Jesus feature they need. All this other shenanigan bullshit makes no fucking sense. And it would validate the increase in price.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear here, Caleb. Walking in stations could be exactly what the game needs if walking in stations included actually interesting gameplay that people could get involved in. That wasn't just a reskin of pushing buttons on industry by now you have to walk up to a console to do it, but actually gave us something new.
Yeah, actual meaningful gameplay.
There could be walking in stations could be really good and could really help the game. If CCP half-assed it though, it would absolutely crash and burn just like it did last time.
Or how did someone put it? CCP needs to add more sand to the sandbox, right? They need to stop controlling how we play the game and instead give us more things to play with. Right? Give us something we can get excited about, like new weapon systems.
Like for the last...
It doesn't necessarily have to be new ships, right? But there are so many things they could do. Like, I know Jurius Doctor yesterday talked about ECM against drones. Right? We have ECM against fighters, right? Weapon systems against missiles, but we don't have anything against drones. So that could be something exciting. Or the flak cannons I keep talking about, right?
and just to take Soth's analogy, they do need to add more sand to the sandbox. For the last several years, they've been taking sand out of the sandbox, and as I think a significant portion of EVE's customer base knows, when you take out all the sand, all you've got left is cat shit.
and if they could then stop doing upside down world, so every time the player base says something, they do the exact opposite, like with the monetizing thing and the interbus coins. Seriously, you were told if there's anything that we would really like so you can get some money and a good monetization scheme, it's something regarding vanity items. Then they bring in these vanity items, but they don't make it a monetization scheme. It's like, are you drunk? You are literally doing the opposite of what
they already increased the price. So they were like, here's something free.
It is absolutely part of a monetization scheme. It's just slightly abstracted because they don't want people to realize it's part of a monetization scheme that nobody likes. You do the stuff. You do the stuff that gets you the interbucks. And by doing that stuff, you'll be doing things like donating
ships to CCP to sell
ships to Interbus, and they'll turn around and sell that to somebody else for real money. So they are definitely monetizing that, but they're not monetizing off of the guy who wants the shiny cosmetic. They're monetizing your labor for the useful item.
Can you explain this a little more?
This is horrible. Hey, first up, I do want to say that this has been a pattern for CCP forever, in that players say, hey, we would like X thing, and we will pay you money for it. And CCP looks at things and goes, okay, players have asked for X thing. How do we deliver X thing, but as Y thing, because it was a player idea and we can't bend to player ideas, because CCP have this weird fucking mindset that the players don't want what the players have asked for. The players want some weird modification of what the players have asked for, and the players will actually like what they have asked for but modified better than getting what they have asked for. And I've never quite understood that concept. But
it was one of those weird things. It was one of those weird things, right? Like it was just really
like when we talk about balance, right?
Yeah.
Any balance change proposed by a player on the forums is never going to happen because CCP will look at it and go, "That was proposed by a player. We can't do that, otherwise we'll be biasing the game towards that player and that group." And it's such a weird kind of concept, and I don't kind of get it. But this then feeds into the weird kind of like crypto-esque monetization that they're trying to do with the Interbox, which is player who already pays for the game potentially, or doesn't pay for the game and just produces on his 1 or 2 or 3 slots, however many slots an alpha can have, slowly and donates these things to CCP, and CCP then monetizes the player's product, right? They're not monetizing to the players, they're monetizing the player's output to another player.
Yeah.
You're not selling me something.
With this is that
you're trying to
smells like all the other games, right?
All
the other games out there have these bind on pickup bullshit, all this time gated stuff, and all this activity padding and login rewards and all of that shenanigans. And it's really cancerous in these games. I know that you can say, well, it keeps the fucking Skinner boxing and the players at the keyboards. Yes, but it's a horrible gaming experience. And one of the things that EVE has always been different in is that they didn't have that much of this shit. I think the only thing you could really argue was bind on pickup in EVE Online was LP points, right? And the fact that they're suddenly moving in the opposite direction just shows me that they are completely misunderstanding what their unique selling point is, and really they're destroying their own game.
They're out of touch, but there is a thing that Proforix in Twitch chat has just said that brought this to my attention, and I hadn't been aware of this before. Apparently, Interbox can only be earned, so you can only donate things and get your crypto shill bullshit back from CCP if you're an Omega player. So if you aren't already paying CCP to do things, you can't get the crypto shit back.
I don't think that's true. If I remember correctly, they said that Omega will greatly increase how many Interbox you earn.
Right, so pay them to get more crypto bullshit
labor
back.
Points.
Yeah, but I mean, let's face it. Right now, you pay them to get skill points too.
Brisk is saying something completely different.
Well, Brisk is saying that he hopes they'll give points for doing shit they already do.
Yeah, but aren't we past hoping CCP will do the right thing?
It's not experience points, for fuck's sake, Brisk. It's got nothing to do with experience points.
SP is experience points.
But it's not experience points. Experience points is usually something that you can massively grind. This does not sound like something you're going to be able to massively grind. It's going to have a gate, and that's the daily dose, and you have to log in more accounts if you want more of these points. That's not experience points.
No, Bruce can't really hop on the channel, I don't think. I think he's getting ready for
the meat show.
Yeah. Which is back, by the way.
But
there is a second part to the patch, and I think
I wanted to just can I quickly just add something, like just a kind of an interesting thing just before we go to that second part of the patch. But like regarding the whole kind of like selling ships, selling like player-made ships to other players kind of thing, like I think a lot of people are like kind of aggravated, obviously quite aggravated about the whole kind of thing. The flip side to the coin, that I think the CCP are kind of looking at this kind of going like, we're damned if we do, if we're damned if we don't kind of thing, is like, if they don't, you know, have this kind of mechanism for players like selling ships to CCP, then they go and sell those ships to players, is just creating ships out of nothingness. And, you know, obviously, you know, as we've seen in prior weeks, that like the whole entire EVE community was up in arms, basically saying this is fucking bullshit, right? What I think is the takeaway, and what I think is something that CCP should take away from this, is not about the fact that, like, you know, they try and appease us, but in a different way because the way that they initially kind of went, we violently reacted to that. The thing that aggravates the shit out of us is the fact that you're trying to sell ships to players.
Fitted ships, especially.
Yeah, fitted ships, especially.
And what is the difference? You can already buy ships for real money if you want to. You just buy Plex and then you use your Plex to actually buy the ships. I don't understand why they need all this obfuscation crap and all these secondary and tertiary currencies. This is what is cancerous in other games. Why are you introducing this to EVE Online? You should go the other way and do the exact fucking opposite.
We really don't know exactly how this is going to work yet, right?
No. But the point is, I think in other games, there's other games that are really, really good and very entertaining to play out there, right? But you cannot say that there is any of those games where you like the maximized weird currency bullshit and time gating and labor points gating and all of that shit. You cannot say that you like those games designs. That is like the worst thing about all these alternatives to EVE Online. Why are you bringing them to EVE Online?
Hey, Caleb. I like that game design. Look, I can say it. I'm lying through my teeth, but I can say it.
All right. So
anyway,
I do want to let's create a break here. Yes, we talked a lot about everything that's been going on, and I do just want to point out that literally everything from last Fanfest was a pitch of some sort and a thing that they want to do, not a thing that they have ready to go, and therefore, there are asterisks everywhere, may change before release. We're talking about what they've been talking about. We're not talking about what is actually going to be happening. So, to get us back onto the topic of what is actually happening, Sothercell, you mentioned that there was a second aspect to the patch that happened this week, Siege Green. What is it? Does it relate to the fact that Siege may be green?
It also kind of relates to that, yeah. They reduced the components needed for a lot of ships. This includes all capitals, all supers, all titans, all faction and all pirate ships, and Tech 1 battleships. I hope I didn't forget any. Also all freighters and I think jump freighters as well.
Well, jump freighters are affected at least in the fact that they require a freighter input to make a jump freighter. So yeah.
And the amount it is reduced by with current prices ranges from a 76% reduction in cost down to a 16% reduction.
Soth, do you mind me showing the Google sheet for this that you linked?
I linked it in staff.
You don't mind me showing it?
Let's have a conversation.
You don't mind me showing it on screen, right?
You can show that on screen.
Okay.
It was made by... We actually don't know who made it. I wasn't provided the name of the person who did it.
Let's hope they don't mind us showcasing it on live on Twitch, but yeah. Obviously, the delta, as you can see, is the difference between pre-patch and post-patch.
Yeah, I made a copy so you can actually order it by a delta or by price.
Now, is this made with the Excel plugin?
No.
Google Sheet, so no. And just so that we can talk about the Excel plugin, the Excel plugin is basically like a JavaScript API that they're pulling on to pull X data into Excel. They haven't really showcased what it can do yet, but I'm just going to tell them live on air that it had better include market histories, and it had better include the ability to pull from your wallet when trying to figure out your costs for a thing. If you can't pull from the wallet, then people aren't going to use it to plan their shit. They're just going to build their own sheets, as they've always done.
It needs to be actually useful, not just cosmetically pretty.
Mac, could you
I do
make a
suspect
copy?
that they might actually want to make it such, because It would be nice if they could move away from the way they've been doing the MER, which is that weird R script pulled from the database. If this was to replace that, so we can do many of the things ourselves, and CCP would be doing a more professional pull of the data for the MER. I think it's got legs. I don't think it's that stupid.
Yeah, so
now
we'll see.
A to Z.
Yep.
There we go.
Let's talk about these changes, because I did actually quickly see a minus number there, Sothers.
Those are special edition ships, so you can just ignore those.
Okay.
Yep. The -7% ones, the Octop Imperials, and
I would say
those don't have blueprints anymore.
yeah.
I would say notably, the Tech 1 battleships are the ones that get the least reduction in cost, 16%. With the Scorpion actually getting more of a reduction, even though it's already cheaper. And then the highest reduction we see in the in dreads and in faction dreads and faction dreads.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta take off. I will catch you guys later.
Later, Horrendous.
Hey, Horrendous, thanks.
Cheers, Horrendous.
See you, bud.
Yeah, like
that Triglavians and the other ones. Got the names of them.
The Edencom.
Edencoms, yeah. They have also been greatly reduced in cost. I'm not sure if Edencom will do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Stormbringer, which is the cruiser for the Edencom, seeing a 67% reduction there. There's the Nitro, which is the Triglavian Dreadnought, a 74.45% reduction in costs, based on current. This sheet is based on raw material price as of whenever this sheet was updated, and doesn't include blueprint copy prices. This is all just raw material costs, but these are the reductions in raw material costs. Dracovac, that Triglavian battlecruiser that McLeod was just on, showing a 54% Kikimora there, 47%.
I just want to know.
Yeah, then we got the Skybreaker and Thunderchild coming in at 46 and 41. So
I just want to note here that this all depends on the component costs. So if we have less of a demand for components because you need less to build ships, prices should also go down, right?
Theoretically.
So what I fear might happen is that they shot over the target a bit and actually reduced the cost a bit too much.
TCP overshooting their target? No.
I know, right?
Never happens.
Wouldn't happen.
No.
They're always so on point.
Almost as if they should have asked some industrialists about these numbers before they introduce new numbers.
Do you have a recommended industrialist, Caleb? Would his name perhaps begin with K?
Oh, well, I would suggest they find an actual industrialist and not some World of Warcraft crafter and tinkerer, because I think in real industrialism in EVE Online is important for the USP. But I'm weird, and I'm not trying to make this like every other MMO. That's CCP's job these days.
That's a very fair point.
If they want me to go and play another game, they're definitely doing the right thing.
Well, when was the last time you played EVE?
Oh, it's been ages.
When was the last time anybody here actually played EVE rather than
I
just
played last night.
See, that backfired on you, didn't it?
It didn't actually. I'm incredibly interested to hear what got Dawn so interested that she wanted to log in and undock and fly spaceships.
Yeah, rather than
mining a bunch of moons.
Oh, okay. It had to have been a mining one.
I just want to point out that with this, something that Caleb predicted might actually become finally true.
That sounds horrible.
Oh God.
I mean, you predicted that battleship prices would go below what they were before they started tinkering.
Wait, how many years later is it?
With industry.
Where
That's
are
like
we at
3
with the
years now.
battleship prices, actually? Because, I mean, I'm looking at the spreadsheet, and I'm looking at the Armageddon Navy, and I'm seeing a 56.4% drop in the initial costs of an Armageddon Navy. I'm seeing a 57.8% drop in the costs of a Barghest, 57.5% in the cost of a Balgorn. Scrolling down the list, Megatron's very big in nullsec at the minute, obviously. 15.8, 15.9, somewhere in that region, percent drop. Scrolling a little bit further down, the Rattlesnake, which has historically been a big nullsec doctrine, dropping by nearly 58%.
I wouldn't. I would look at like total cost. So a Megatron for 260 mil at current prices. That's still not below what we saw in the heyday of the Rockwell.
We were down at like 140, 150 a hull.
Yeah, and that's kind of like below 200 mil is what I personally think we need to see before battleships become viable against hacks again.
Unless there is a significant change to hacks, or the way, or significant change to basically the assault damage control, because
hack
I think a lot
costs
of
or hack efficacy. Either they need to be more expensive, or they need to see some change that makes them less dominant.
less survivable on the battlefield. Like,
but yeah, I mean, still going down the list, an Osprey Navy issue going from 156 million ISK currently, or pre-patch, to 61 million ISK post-patch. Osprey Navy issues are a big part of the kind of kitey bullshit. And I say kitey bullshit in a very, very amused way. I call them kitey bullshit because I've loved the Orthrus for years. That sort of like high speed kind of range control doctrine. I love it, but it is kind of kitey bullshit.
I mean, you mentioned the Orthrus. The Orthrus is going from 360 down to 140.
Yeah,
143.
So Orthrus seeing a 60-odd% reduction. Osprey Navy also seeing a 60-odd% reduction. Like, I think these are good changes. These are positive, as long as these reflect in the market. And that's, you know what? Actually, I think that's possibly the key point here. As long as these changes reflect in the market. But for changes to reflect in the market adequately and accurately, right? Because these are just comparing based on the prices on the 3rd of... there are notes in this spreadsheet that say that it was updated on the 3rd of May. So these are based on market prices on the 3rd of May. For these changes to reflect properly in the market, people still have to be providing the input. They have to be providing the materials to build the things, if that makes sense, you know. Especially when you talk about faction ships or capital ships, you provide raw materials that you build into components that you build into ships. If there aren't enough people there to supply the market with the raw materials and components to then build the components, to then build the ship, what you'll actually see is the supply continue to draw down even as the demand kind of goes up, because people are seeing that these ships they are coming down in price, but they may not come down in price to that absolute like 60-odd% marker that you
may find that manufacturers do kind of like, you know, look at the state of the state of manufacturing and stuff like that, and be like, you know, we probably want to increase the amount of money that we have just to hedge our bets on whatever fucking crazy ass changes happen down the pipe again, right? As well.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where like these price changes and the component price changes that we're talking about are all well and good to talk about in a vacuum, but they're not in a vacuum because we need to also consider that there are less people playing Eve right now. I mean, Dawn is the only person who spoke up earlier and said she's actively playing Eve right now.
Oh, I still play, man. It's fun.
For mining. Greg, what are you doing in Eve Online right now?
I go on fleets and press F keys.
F1. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Have you found your
SRP? Is basically.
Have you found your F2 key?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's my push to talk.
Okay. That's not what Mittens was talking about.
God damn it! I didn't understand.
Greg, I just want to interject here, Greg. If you're actually using push to talk, I'm not sure you're allowed to be on this show anymore.
Yeah.
There's an interesting note here in chat that apparently gas is the bottleneck. My friend Casey there, I don't know if you guys know Casey, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, gas is the bottleneck in producing these ships.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, duh.
Gas mining is a pain in the fucking ass based on the fact that you can only do it with a frigate right now.
Just find that ridiculous.
As I understand.
Well, the sites don't hold enough in it to justify anything bigger.
Didn't they actually give...
didn't they say we're going to iterate on that?
I thought they gave mining barges gas harvesters.
I'm sure.
Nobody uses them.
I'm sure CCP said that they were going to iterate on gas, like in terms of bigger sites and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you look at how long it has taken them to do this change.
No, I get that.
From day one, we said that the component prices are too high, that it is not worth building ships anymore, and that they need to reduce the amount of components needed. From day one, how long has it taken them to finally tweak these numbers? And this is not a big brain change, right? They only tweaked some numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're just poking. They're just changing things in databases. That's all they're doing.
So how long is it going to take them to iterate on this? Like, if this doesn't have the effect they wanted to have, how long will it take them to look at it again? Another year? Another 2 years?
Probably about another 4 months at the minimum. But I'm just going to go ahead and say that we've heard CCP say that they will iterate on things again, and we've heard them say it over.
Oh no. Well, I'm not.
Like...
So, Dirk, you're kind of like missing kind of what I'm meant to have been saying. I wasn't saying that like CCP are likely going to iterate.
How long it would take, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's off like my comment of like, you know, they said that they were going to iterate on the on changes to gas sites and stuff. But like the thing is, the only reason why I said that is because, you know, at least we know that, like, you know, it's on CCP's radar in some way, shape, or form.
Fantastic.
It doesn't mean that they're actually committed to actually changing it anytime soon, but like at least they know that is an issue.
They will change it in like 1 to 2 years.
This is true. And welcome, Wibbler. Welcome to the show.
How are you doing today, Wibbler?
I'm doing quite well, actually. I've just been out for a walk and had an ice cream and, you know, enjoyed myself on this fine day.
Nice ice cream?
By the way, one of our viewers, Casey, said that about most indie people don't have enough skill points to do all of the pieces that they want you to be able to build.
But just buy the skill points. It's real money, you know. CCP want your real money. Buy the skill points.
Yeah, CCP wants you to throw money at them. That's why.
But yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in what Wibbler's ice cream was, and
it was just a normal. Nothing special.
Should I go get some money and throw it in the air for you, Dirk?
So about the thing that was mentioned with having skill points enough to build things, that's actually a huge factor because they tacked on a bunch of dumb skill requirements to build capitals, or at least the components for them, which is really just mind-bogglingly stupid.
Agreed.
How long does it take to...
No, nobody's countering the point. It was monumentally stupid. I think that says it all, right?
When changes are made to prices, how long does it take the marketeers to like catch up? Like usually on average, somebody must have done the numbers on that, right?
From a CTP change?
In terms of high sec?
Industrialists normally adapt within 4 to 6 days, I'd say, on average. But that's
depends on what it is.
Definitely faster than they used to. Like with the change on how things work now with component slots and stuff like that. You don't have to change your like reaction chain on your process and stuff like that. That used to take you like a month to change into something new.
The lead time is definitely less nowadays. I don't know, like Wibbler, how long would it take you to adapt to a change to the build requirements of a Munin?
About the time it would take me to change my spreadsheet.
Or about half an hour, if that.
Yeah, more like 15 minutes to update the SD, and then I would just have to look at how many units I can build from my current stock.
Would that be faster? Would that be faster or slower if you were using Excel?
I don't use Excel for that at all these days. I use Google Docs. I use on the node streets, but though I have modified it a lot, and I also use GeoAssets stockpiles feature a lot. Also, there's a fix coming to that feature, by the way, quite soon that I managed to get in. Help find, actually. So it will be faster if you run a huge-ass GeoAssets install, like some people do. It won't take like 90 seconds to make a new stockpile.
Because you're a well-adjusted normal person.
That's your words, not mine.
Wibbler is anything but well-adjusted. I will go on air and say that he's anything but well-adjusted, but we love him anyway. But yeah, no, on that point, like, Wibbler is a major industrialist, for those who don't know, who are watching the show. Wibbler is basically chief industrialist for TNT. He spends a lot of his time, or spent, before Eve became less interesting, a lot of his time dealing with reaction chains and building ships. And in terms of the market impact, how long would it take you to like get those adjusted prices to products and then get those products to market? Like, if you're talking about running off a batch of Munins, like we used in the example, and you said 15 minutes to change your spreadsheet and figure out your pricing, how long does it take that pricing to filter through to the market?
It takes a few days. It kind of depends. If they announce that the prices would go up in the form of changes to components, resulting in more materials going in, someone would probably just hoover up anything cheaper than build cost and then relist anything they want. If prices go down, they tend to go down a bit more slowly, I think, depending on the input costs. And this you can also see on the markets now because of how Moongoo has been acting. Though that being said, Moongoo is kind of funky right now, so be careful if you're doing stuff.
So inflation faster than deflation.
Yeah, generally, I mean, this is kind of also in reminiscence of what happens in real life as well, right? Because it's always quicker to get prices to adjust them up than to actually decrease them afterwards.
Economics 101, guys. Inflation happens faster than deflation.
So I think we are looking at some really early signs of stagflation, especially concerning Moongoo. So it might get very, very funky in the coming weeks.
Why do you think that? Like, what are the factors that you're reading to kind of make that assessment?
The trend of less players playing and mining, and you can't actually fly a Covetor on an alpha, and also a lot of the price decrease we've seen, or deflation, or what you want to call it, comes from the temporary increased supply from a lot of people liquidating their old ore stacks, because they had a lot of fucking ore sitting in Athenors and whatnot, and they compressed it and moved it to market.
Wait,
and those stacks are now depleting, I think.
So what you're saying is that CCP's attempts at reducing stockpiles didn't work over the last 2 years?
Right.
So we had a bit of a war, if you heard. And
tiny little one.
A little one, and I can just say that just to put that out there, like the TNT stockpiles are not smaller now than they were in 2019. I mean,
So,
CCP can go eat my ass.
16 months of war and your stockpiles are bigger now than they were before the war. Like, and all of scarcity as well, just as a point. Like, that's a really good job, isn't it?
Well, Tech 2 production, if you do it right, is an hilarious risk maker, and that hasn't really changed.
That's fair enough.
We were basically, I think we were beating deflation and then some for a while, and then the war hit and it went crazy.
I am just kind of looking at the clock and realizing that, things happen. But before we get to the one last thing, just real quick, question from Twitch chat from Royal Cat Royal for Wibbler. How many indie friends do you know don't even play anymore?
Most of them.
A lot, I think.
90%.
Could you give us an estimate on rough numbers or percentage? How many indie people do you know have quit recently? Or I say recently, last few years.
A lot of the old crew that we had from DSS is gone, long gone. I mean, even Aerith quit, and I don't think people realize just exactly how much she was building. It's hard to put a concrete number on it.
That's a fair point.
I think you could put a number in market shares and say that if you include with industry the financial group of EVE Online, more than 60% have left. Definitely more than 60%.
Yeah, my feeling is
60%.
That's probably accurate. I mean, my feeling is that a lot of markets and a lot of things that people do, especially to build things and sell them in general, have there's less slack. There's fewer players doing it. There's the markets are less resilient. It's quite easy to move prices if you feel like it. Stuff like that. I mean, that's not just tied into less people actually building things. It also tied into how the market changes hit with broker fees and taxes and all that shit.
It was a big boo-boo.
Yeah. Tell me about
it. Quite significantly. Anyway, we should probably...
It's just one of those examples of where you say to CCP that they should consider fixing a few things, and then they do a poll and ask people that have no idea. This is just back to the industrialist stuff, right? If you're going to change industry in EVE Online, you should talk to the people that actually use it properly and not people that just face roll it.
That is CCP 101, though. But anyway, we are
can I
probably
touch on
about
one thing before I leave?
Well, yeah, because we're going to go do everybody's one last thing, and you can do your one last thing about that.
I would just like to double down on the whole discussion.
You can double down in your one last thing.
Which is literally starting now.
A little bit longer than just a one last thing. I just really want to ramp down that when we are discussing this interbus credit bullshit, it is literally a proof of how the eco team has failed. In all other games, the way that the games balance their economies is exactly by having all these weird shenanigan gates, time gates, speed bumps, cross currencies, login reward limitations, all of that stuff. This is why other games, they don't need to care about their ecosystem and their economy because they can just put these fucking stupid things in there. And the fact that CCP is now putting something like this in their game, basically exactly to me, proves that they don't care about trying to fix the economy anymore. They're just going to put these things in instead.
Okay. Might as well go to Dawn if Dawn is around. Dawn, are you here? One last thing?
My final thought. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. My final thought is that I hope everyone has a great week. Glad everybody came to hang out with us. And I hope I see everybody at EVE Vegas, Soup Gang. Let's all go get some good soup. And if you're there, you know. And I hope that we'll all get to hang out again next week.
Lovely. Dirk?
I don't know with my one last thing anymore. I think I kind of got to this point last week, but I mean, CCP really need to have that wake up moment. They need to stop and take a look in the mirror and really think about what they're doing. The entirety of last FanFest was a big old elevator pitch on stuff that they want to do over the next year. Realistically, when they're talking about the Arc expansion, the Arc storyline, kind of like expansion focus, they call these storyline expansions arcs, just for anybody who was confused about that. When they talk about these arcs, they're talking about delivering the first kind of part of that arc in Q4 2022. So we're talking about 7 months away at most, and like 5 or 6 months away at minimum. They need to actually deliver something, and soon. You need to get off your asses and actually like create a change to the game. We're currently at however many years since Faction Warfare saw its last revamp, and I appreciate that the arcs are mainly focused on Faction Warfare for new players, but we're also looking at 7 years of Aegis Sov at this point.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
God,
7 years
been
of
that
Aegis
long?
Sov. Nullsec has seen huge changes. Upwell structures are, at this point, the dominant function. And whether or not you call flex structures Upwell structures, I don't give a shit. They're Upwell structures of a certain sort.
Yeah, and they need to be included.
You need to actually like look at how people are playing the game in Nullsec and adjust Sov to factor that in, right? Like, get rid of the TCU, get rid of the iHub, make them services under the Upwell structures. There needs to be meaningful, significant change that reflects the ways players are playing the game in 2022, not the way players were playing the game in 2015. Please, just like wake the fuck up. And also, while you're at it, where's your executive producer? We still haven't seen CCP Manbjorn on a stage or talking to players since he was put in post.
Okay. Ooh. Anyway, Erik, one last thing?
Yeah, so really it comes down to we've had another FanFest and we didn't get any really big stuff. We got some database changes, right? That's about it. Those are easy to make. Those are update statements. Are simple. I think CCP missed the boat here. They had the opportunity to say, we have been really working hard for our customers and we're ready to roll out X. They kind of just said, maybe we're doing something in the future because we've all been to all these, watched all these FanFests for decades now, right? And when they say, oh, we're going to do all these glorious things, very few actually get implemented. So,
all right,
that's really it. It's kind of sad.
Greg, what are your final thoughts?
Remember,
one last thing.
Yeah. Just remember, guys, that like this game might be shit, but it's all about the people, right? It's the friends you make along the way.
It is.
That's all I got.
And nobody can nerf that shit.
That's true.
Actually, they can, and CCP can, because somebody asked earlier, how many people that don't play the game anymore, right? Everybody I started this game with, everybody who introduced me to this game are all gone, right? There are our friends here, obviously on the thing that we have all stuck together, but we have seen so many go to other games and just disappear, and it's kind of sad and disheartening. And when I watch why they left because of what CCP was doing or not doing, or
And these are people that we consider friends. We talk to each other every week. We keep up with what each other are doing. It's sad. It really is sad at the end of the day.
I guess right? maybe what I should have said is not that CCP can't nerf it, but like we can actively do something against that.
Yeah, we go play other games with them, not Eve.
Yeah,
hang out. That's the way to run a company into the ground, in my opinion.
Don's Dinosaur game. Let's all play that.
Hell yeah!
There's too much sex in that game
dominate.
for me. I can't handle it.
Soth. What's your final thoughts? Your
Greg.
last thing? No, Greg. We had Greg. Greg was there.
Oh, was there
love everyone, man.
Yeah.
Love your neighbor. That's
Sorry, my bad.
Yep. We love you, Greg, and thank you for coming on. You're welcome.
It was very wholesome.
Time.
It's my pleasure.
Now the German.
Right. I mean, despite CCP trying their best to get people to leave the game, Dirk and I are still trying to provide content for the people who are still
so
here.
hard.
That's it. That content for the people. That's our rallying cry.
I know, right? So tomorrow, around 1800 Eve, we will have our last Anger Games open practices. This time, though, not on the INN channel. We're going to be on our own channel, Anger Games Eve.
We've been inspired by the engagement that we've had, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, so if you're interested in some elite PvP, then tune in tomorrow, 1800 Eve, and about.
Put the link in chat to
By
the channel.
The Anger Games stuff I've seen today, just super professional guys, really nice, loved it.
But someone else needs to put the link in chat because I still can't put links in chat.
Okay. Hang on.
We'll be there. I'm gonna grab our Discord link to dump it into Twitch chat as well, just for those of you who are. Once I find our Discord link.
Lovely.
I'm trying to find the right Discord link. There are so many of them floating about now.
The one that isn't going to become redundant in a day or half an hour.
No, this is the link that we've been using.
Yeah.
By the way, any of you guys want to play Dual Universe? Hit me up.
That's not the link that I was.
Yeah, but it works, so just use it.
Yeah,
just cut and use it.
There's the link I was looking for.
Link. So that's the link to the Anger Games Discord.
By the way, this is kind of sad to me when we've got Parev 00, right? I'm new to the game, but it seems like everyone's leaving. That kind of sucks. You know what, Parev? Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. I don't know if you're in the Imperium yet or a group like it, but I would suggest that you get in it. And yes, we're bitter old vets and we complain a little bit about things, but that doesn't mean it's a terrible game. So get in there, get in Karma Fleet, get in, anybody that you want to get into, and go start enjoying the game with a big group, because it's the best way to experience Eve, in my opinion.
We complain because we care.
Yeah,
we're still hanging around because we care.
Yeah.
Right. Two people on the channel still actively play Eve by logging in regularly, but we all still give a shit about the state of the game. The reason we complain is because we want CCP to deliver a game that we want to play.
And anyway,
by the way, as we're for years, never had as much fun as I have with in the Imperium. So there we go.
Exactly. Wib, I know you were kind of late into the show, but any final thoughts or one last thing that you want to share with us and share with the people watching?
Yeah, a couple things. One, it's Eurovision tonight.
Yes.
So if you are afraid of pings, turn them off. Or if you want pings, turn them on.
Yay!
I'm probably going to get jailed again, right? Also, second thing, this game is objectively bad. There's no two ways around this fact. But the people make it great, and we are probably the best people to play with, in my humble opinion.
Exactly. And it is my duty as a member of Init to obviously plug Shines' collective writings, his modern day Shakespeare, that you can get from Amazon right here, and I'll chuck you guys a link as well. There you go. If you guys want to get your hands on a physical copy of Dark Shines and his mildly erotic musings, as it were.
That's true, because that's in a comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
5-star comment in there. By the way, I have purchased the book for those who don't know, who weren't on earlier. I think a bunch of us did. We're looking forward to reading it, maybe giving you guys some reviews. If you haven't bought it yet, you should all buy it. It's $3.58, man. Do it. And I don't even know Dark Giants, really. You do. I don't really know. You know, I just hear Brisk talks about him. So, you know, great, man. Hey, I can put the two words together. I can't wait to read it, though. So it's going to be great.
He's a great man. And yes, like you definitely
and we're going to try and get him on the show, do a typical like news segment so he can plug his book. So it'll be great.
It'd be great to actually get.
Will be conducted by Dawn, right?
I think it should. Potentially.
That'd be hot.
No, we should have an impromptu write-off.
Ooh, that might be interesting.
Like a rap battle, but with words?
I don't know.
I mean, is a rap battle not with words? But okay.
Well, on paper, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, guys, like, I'm going to leave you guys with a second round of Brisk. And hopefully this one will actually work and you guys will actually hear it.
No.
And he will lead us off.
It's too short and it wasn't what I expected. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, you know. But anyway, I'll quickly play it and that'll wrap the show.
All of the announcements yesterday, I think the community is ready to hear what's coming next and when.
Oh, yeah. I mean,